And welcome in to the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. Depending on wherever it is that you are, you could be up there in Alabama right now where people are crying a little bit. You could be at parts unknown. Is that where Jackpot is? I don't know. Jackpot doing his thing this evening here. As Jackpot was, I could hear Jackpot a minute ago, and now Jackpot's gone. Oh, goodness. All right, well, Jackpot will be joining us here in a moment. Let's see here. There's Jackpot. Jackpot, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, sir? How you doing tonight?
Hey, man, you looking spiffy there with your nice collared shirt on, like you would help an old lady across the street.
I have helped old ladies across the street.
Yeah,
I absolutely would.
All right, so we've got a lot to talk about this evening. Of course, I mean, we've got the big story of the day, of course, with Nick Saban announcing his retirement. We got other things we're going to get into. Well, let's not hide. By the way, I want to really quick here. Give me 10 seconds, Jackpot. Please do not hide from the fact Dabo Sweeney, I don't know what he's going to do as far as if he's going somewhere else or not. But the Clemson basketball team had a game tonight against Virginia Tech, and they shit themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
rolling down their leg.
Drops their third game in a row.
Yeah.
Lost to a team. South Carolina beat that team. Clemson loses to them. It's kind of like football. I mean, Clemson can't cover the spread against Kentucky. South Carolina can cover the spread and beat Kentucky. So Clemson's basketball program is declining slowly. Sad.
It's just terrible. But anyway, look, I want to we could talk. We got plenty of time to talk hoops later on, but and down the line, I mean, we have to talk tonight about the biggest story in college football right now, and that is Nick Saban decided to hang him up. This guy was roll tide with the super chat. Hey guys, I just got off work. My phone's been dead for a few hours. Anything interesting happened today? Very good, sir. Very good, sir. Thank you for the super chat, but we knew he was going to retire eventually, Jackpot, but it still just kind of hits you hard, right? You're like, man, damn.
I'm going to be frank with you. I mean, it is a huge story. I understand that, but to me, as a Gamecock fan, it probably means more to Clemson fans. I mean, Clemson's actually played Alabama more probably than we have since they played Nick Saban more than we have since he's been, head coach at Alabama. I mean, it's kind of like we play. I mean, he's 2-1 against the Gamecocks at Alabama, so he's Mr. 67%. But I mean, yeah, it really. I mean, I know it's a big deal, but to me, it's not.
Well, let me give you a stat. I know that, but I'm going to tell you why.
I'm not trying to brush it off and saying it's not a story to me because it is, but I'm
going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why you're going to care in just a moment. But I got to give out this stat because it kind of caught my eye. He won more games in 17 seasons at Alabama than the Crimson Tide won in the 24 seasons between Bear Bryant's retirement and Nick Saban's hiring. Think about that. 17 more games in 17 seasons than the Crimson Tide won in the 24 seasons between Bear Bryant's retirement and Saban's hiring. The guy's just a hell of a coach.
I believe that because after Bear Bryant, they were down for a while, and then they had then Gene Stallings kind of brought it back up.
Yeah,
and a little bit. And then he left, and you went through the mics and all that mess. And they weren't very good there for about at least 10 years,
something like that. Yeah. I think that the other thing too that we got to look at is that the reason that you should care is something that's already come out. Shedeur Sanders, the Colorado quarterback. Now, Jackpot's gonna be like, Rob, why should I care about what the Colorado quarterback's done? Because he's already hit the ground, and he put out a note. If you're an Alabama player, come get with me, basically was the gist of it. And so I know people laugh at this, but right now in this area, like they lost a 5-star receiver today already off the rip. People
a commitment or a commit or somebody was on the team.
No, it was a commitment. And
for the 2024 class.
Yes. Yeah, it was a guy that was going. It was a guy for next year's class, but it was a guy that was going. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was about to say it couldn't be a 2024. I mean,
yeah,
you can't enter the transfer portal before you've even played. I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, the commitment was there, and he was said, "Hey, I'm going to go somewhere else." But Alabama's got plenty of talented players, and coaches are going to pick them dry. That is going to happen. So that's why you should care.
The toothless losers just went down on the road at Mississippi State.
Fuck me. By the way, can I put this out there? I hate to be this guy, but Nate Oates is a douche. The shit he said last night, he is a diseased douche. I cannot believe that a college basketball coach would run his mouth like he did last night in his press conference. You should be ashamed of yourself, sir. Resign. What an asshole that guy is. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I know those guys on the 107.5 The Game in the morning this earlier. I don't know. When I was listening to it a lot a couple of months ago, I guess, we're talking about, who are some duos out there in college basketball and college football who are like the most hated college football and basketball coach at the same schools, and they were naming off somebody said Josh Heupel and whoever at Tennessee, and they didn't name them, and I'm like, are y'all, is Nick Saban and Nate Oates not staring you right in the damn face? Come on.
Yeah.
That guy, he let a murderer play.
Yeah, he had a murderer playing for him. And I know it's like, oh, well, whatever. Just stop it.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy with a horse hoof. Anyway.
More likely, fuck us. Because that display that was not basketball last night on display in the second half.
Brother,
should be embarrassed.
It's January 10th, and right now, from what I've seen of Clemson and South Carolina, we're all going to be battling for the freaking NIT. That's what we're going to be battling for. And then guys are going to be transferring out. Both of us will probably lose to Valdosta State's JV squad, or the squad from fucking what was the college that Dabo was saying? He's some slapdick from East
Badoga Community College.
We're going to lose to East Badoga Community College's JV team with the way that both of our teams are playing hoops right now. You and I can sit on the couch and hold hands and pretend like we're just brothers together holding on, as both of these teams just look like complete shit shows. They're terrible. So there's
that second half last night was first half, because I was thinking about betting that because it was like plus 500 and something odds. I'm like, yeah, they've lost 4 games this year. I'm like, we could beat them, and then I'm like, I'm glad I didn't. Second half opened, I don't think they scored for like the first 7 minutes.
By the way, I know most of you already subscribed to the channel, but if you're just watching now and it's your first time that you're here, please subscribe. Okay, let's make sure we put that out there. We're on the quest to get to 15,000. That's what I want us to have by football season. It's a lofty goal, but by God, I think we can do it because we put out some great.
We can. Here. I'm watching the Ole Miss Florida basketball game right now, and I wanted to throw this out there. They just showed the Ole Miss basketball coach Chris Beard. I'm really not familiar with him. I don't think he's been there that long, but I don't know if anybody else watches this guy. But he bears a very striking resemblance to one Emery King. Do you know who Emery King is?
Yeah.
He did the Silverado commercials.
That's right, the Silverado.
Yeah, he's a big he's quite the right wing activist. He does a lot of shit over on Twitter. He's kind of funny, but yet annoying at the same time.
Let's bring on Gump Fan. Gump Fan, welcome to the program.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
The only people that are happy that Nick Saban is retiring are the Tennessee folks. I mean, because, they should just tip their hat and say, you know what, happy retirement. And we hope to God you don't come back, because when I forgot to look it up earlier, Jack. I'm gonna pull it right now though. I mean, he had that streak where he won like 17 in a row, but he got to Alabama in what, 2006?
They were really pretty much irrelevant. I mean, when it came to facing him, I mean,
Yeah, I bet. What
let's just be
what
fair.
year he? 17 seasons. So let's say he got there in
Like a joke.
2006.
He made Tennessee his bitch.
He lost the first one and then won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in a row. Lost one more and then won again. So he was like 17-2 against Tennessee. I'd say that's pretty damn good. Something like that.
They're rivals though.
Yeah, they're
That's a big rivalry though. They got cigars for it and everything. They got a name for the date it's played on and everything. But
Till Valhalla says he made everyone his bitch, you idiots. I know a coach up at Clemson that took 2 national championships from him.
I mean, he was only 67% against the Gamecocks. I dare say he was better than 67% against most everybody else. So no, not really.
Yeah, I mean, he mouth pumped Tennessee every time he played them, though. I mean, that happened. SEC Dog says, why would he retire when it's about to go to 12 playoff teams? I just can't believe it. And we have to talk about who's going to be next. There's a long line of everybody and their brothers talking about Dabo Swinney's going there. You know, if I thought that was something that was completely relevant, I would definitely put that out there, but I just don't think he's going to do that. And the reason why is because I don't think anybody wants to replace the legend. You want to replace him afterwards. So they may get somebody as like a stopgap coach, somebody that comes in there that's hungry. I don't know. But I don't think Swinney at 53 is going to leave Clemson and go there. I just don't feel it. I was waiting on you. All right, Ray, what do you got for the show, buddy?
Hey guys, I've got used to be my former boss. He's a let's just say a very influential booster at Alabama. His mother's name's on the side of the gymnastics facility, so he was a little bit in the
Bryant or Denny?
No, that has nothing to do with the gymnastics facility, Jackpot.
Oh, the I didn't know it was a gymnastics facility.
Yes, there's one there. Trust me. Not that we give a crap about it, but apparently his mother did, because
I do.
Yeah, just saying. But anyway, we had a little discussion back and forth, and Saban's got nothing else to prove. We know that, but he told me point blank that one of the factoring decisions that had him ready to retire was NIL. He doesn't really, not that he's against the players getting paid, but you lose control over players when they're making big bucks, and they hold you captive, every transfer portal season. So, and his words, not my mind. He said NIL was the main reason. And number two, I asked him, I said, who's on the short list? One name came to mind, Dan Lanning. That's exactly what he said, Dan Lanning. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in, guys. That's just right from one of the big boosters' mouths tonight.
Well,
I mean, I can get the deal with him wanting the NIL kind of forcing his hand towards his retirement, because he's no longer going to be able to stack up those 4 and 5 stars to be depth pieces like cordwood, like they used to do. I mean, now, if those guys aren't getting playing time, they're going to be gone.
Yep. I'm completely with you on that, but I wonder where they're going to look. And, I looked it up. Lanning is 37 years old. If I'm an Alabama fan, that's kind of one way if you told me, hey, Rob, you're an Alabama fan now, we're going to give you the magic wand, you can pick out the coach that you want. Lane Kiffin would be number one without a shadow of a doubt. But if I couldn't get Kiffin, Number 2 would be Lanning. Lanning at 37 comes in, has that the Kirby Smart pedigree. Yeah, those are the top 2 for me anyway.
I would go with Dan Lanning before I would go with Kiffin. I can't stand that slap dick.
Why don't you like Lane Kiffin, Jackpot?
They just I don't just too much gaga, just too much bullshit. I don't like him.
So more sizzle and less steak is what you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't like the way he did Tennessee. How about that?
Oh, well. Jesus Christ. We'll get you a Tennessee tube top, by God.
How do you know I don't already have one?
Of course you do. If you have it,
I got one back in 1998. Now it's
I will Venmo you $50.
Now instead of a tube top, it's more like a it would fit more like a neck ring as far as it could go.
Jackpot's not a whore. The $50 didn't impress him. Yerder says bye Dabo. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, man. I really don't.
Says, ask Carolina Jackpot, do you think Harbaugh ends up at South Carolina? Why not? I mean, apparently Connor Stallions was already, down there whispering in our ear secrets on beating Tennessee because Michigan was scared to face them in the college football playoff a couple of years ago. They were also apparently afraid to face Clemson.
Jesus. But the crazy thing, Jackpot, is that it's at the end of the season right now. But going into next season, there's not going to be a Nick Saban. There's not going to be you're going to have there's coaches that have been you got new coaches all over the place. It's just a mess right now, though,
Yes, it is.
With a good question. Who would Clemson go after if Dabo did leave? I will answer that in a moment. Let's bring in Billy first. Billy, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing this evening?
Good evening, sir.
You see
Big DVD says Jackpot watching too much Sports Talk Jay. Sports Talk Jay is the one who said that that you're not going to be able to play these you're not going to be able to stack up these 4 and 5 stars anymore. Great point. He's a smart guy. I mean, except for his love fest with Nico, that was kind of crazy. But other than that, he knows what he's talking about. And I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say, and I don't mean to cut you off for a second, Billy. Nico won't be good. I'm not saying he won't be good, but to the Tennessee man, we're sitting out here acting like he's going to win the Heisman Trophy every year he's there. He's going to lead us to a natty. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Instead of, the logical thing would be to sit back and say, we'll see what the guy's going to do. He looked good his first start. So, maybe he'll be good. Maybe he won't. We shall see. Now, it was kind of like last year. They were hyping up Joe Milton, and then he turned out to be a flaming pile of dew. And then they're like, oh, well, he was just a bridge year quarterback anyway. We were just waiting on Nico. So, anyway,
Billy, what do you have for the program?
Carry on, Billy.
I think it's Lane. I think it's Lane Kiffin. Yeah. He was a favorite son when he was there. And as a Tennessee fan, I didn't mind him leaving. I understood it. I totally got it. He's from Los Angeles. He was the offensive coordinator at Southern Cal for Pete Carroll when they were winning all those national championships. So him leaving, the fact he left in the middle of the night because of some idiot fans but it didn't bother me. Think about it. Los Angeles, Knoxville. It's not a hard decision. Not a hard decision at all. But
what else you got there, Billy?
Huh?
What else? Did you have another guy you think that would be better than Kiffin?
I watched Tommy Reese the other night, and he had that possum grin eating smile on his face, that little Hitler mustache that he's got. He looked like he knew something. Wasn't he on TV the other night at the national championship analyzing something there? I thought they had him on as host, but
who?
Tommy
Tom-
Reese.
the,
Everybody's talking about Tommy Reese. I don't know. But everybody didn't see this coming. I had a clue. I mean, when you buy an $18 million home in September in Jupiter, Florida, that retirement home,
Kind of
that's
a
a clue.
telltale sign, isn't it?
That's kind of, I mean, but Rich Rod's still sitting at Jacksonville State.
yeah, but I don't think Alabama's they're not going to pull a South Carolina and go get a failure, because Rich Rod had all the money and everything he could possibly need at Michigan and couldn't get the job done there. Why would Alabama bring him down there? That makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
That would be a very underwhelming hire, very less than.
And the obvious is Dan Lanning. I'd hate to be the person that follows Nick Saban though. There, that's like jumping in from the fire to the firebrand. And no, Dabo's not going there. I don't think Alabama wants Dabo. Yes, he's got 2 natties, but he had 2 great generational quarterbacks. I mean,
he did, and that's the thing. I don't think Sweeney's going to do that anyway.
Why would he want to do that?
But that's the thing. Why go back there? And I know, like, everybody's be like, well, Mama's going to call him home, or Alabama's home to him. Well, I mean, he went somewhere, made his home. He left there.
Yes. He has a great program growing right now. He's getting paid. He doesn't, and back to Saban, before he even coached a game, I was driving across Alabama, and a Birmingham station was asking him, they were already asking, when would they fire Saban? And he ain't even coached the first down yet. And this was on for a couple hours as I was traversing the state. And I told my wife, I said, listen to this. And these morons was calling and saying, well, if he loses this to Auburn twice, his ass is gone. I'm thinking, he ain't even called a play yet.
I don't think that there is a section of Alabama fans that are batshit crazy. And I think Alabama's got some of those folks that are way across the line. But I think the typical Bama fan is, I think that the ones that actually watch football and understand it, I think they're going to give.
Every team has them. Every team has them.
Absolutely.
And I've said it before, which is a joke. You can tell a Bama bandwagon fan because they can't name the 3 Mikes during their Mike years. Yes, they had bad years too. And oh, by the way, Fulmer beat Alabama 9 times in a row. So it used to be a automatic W, but Saban's the GOAT. You can't argue that. Hey.
All right.
I was listening to Jackpot today. I wasn't watching the screen. I had my headphones on. He said, I'm here in bed. You want to see my pug? I'm going to say, what?
Pug?
You want to see my pug? I'm going to do what? I thought that was a pretty good video too, but up the nostrils for about 7 minutes is a little much, Jackpot.
Oh, well, I mean, I can't please everybody.
I know, but anyway, I'll let y'all go.
Appreciate it, Billy. All right, man. Let's see here. Do you want to go? All right, I'm gonna let Jackpot pick our next one. Do you want to go TriStar or Octavian? Which way you want to go?
Oh God.
I'll let you pick.
TriStar.
All right, TriStar. Welcome to the program. Hello, TriStar. All right, TriStar's got his mic muted there. I don't know what his. All right, that leaves Octavian. Octavian, welcome to the program.
What a great day to be an SEC football fan. What a great day.
Why is that?
Just a great day to be an SEC football fan. And Rob, I told you Clemson was going to beat Kentucky. I told you.
So I was wrong. I apologize.
Yeah, you was wrong. I told you Clemson's winning the national championship next year, and you can book it. You can book your tickets to Atlanta.
Clemson could lose 4 games next year.
Clemson's winning the national championship next year. I honestly think it.
Clemson could lose 4 games next year. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? They could lose 4 games next year.
I don't see it.
Well, you thought Florida was going to win the national title this year or some nonsense. So sometimes you miss
Yeah,
things.
it's okay. As long as we beat Tennessee and we save goalposts, that's a good thing.
Well, I mean, how the mighty have fallen. You guys used to be about winning national titles. Now you just
Yeah,
hope
now it's we beat. We had a losing record. Well, we beat Tennessee though.
Yeah, we beat
That sounds
Tennessee.
about like us. We had a losing record, and we're sitting here beating our chest because we beat Kentucky.
We beat Tennessee. And we beat South Carolina. We did beat them.
We gave you the game, but yeah.
But anyway,
bragging about that's like a dwarf, saying he did well in the limbo. It's not.
But anyway,
Impressive.
Alabama, you're going back to the Mike DeBose days, baby. Alabama should hire Mike DeBose as their next head coach. Go back to cheating. Go back to giving up Cadillacs at the Tuscaloosa dealerships. That's what I was saying. That's what you do.
All right. Well,
hey,
they're gonna go back. They're gonna go back to sucking. They're gonna fall. Listen, you ever seen the Price is Right mountain climber? They climbing up the mountain. As soon as they got to the top, they fall over.
the yodeler.
That's what the yodeler. Yeah, that's how the yodeler. That's what Alabama's about to be. They about to be a mountain climber. They about to be the yodeler because they about to fall off every time. They about to fall off the cliff. And I'm gonna say the new Alabama will be the Florida Gators. The new Alabama will be the Florida Gators. When we take
all right. His mic he dropped. I don't know what happened to him there. Let's add Christopher.
When
to the
you
mix.
get too full of shit, I mean, it just
Yeah. Christopher,
Hey, what's
welcome.
going on, Jackpot and Rob? How y'all doing?
good.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Doing good, man. Hey, Jackpot, I'm a big Clemson fan, but I'm not gonna lie, I love your channel. Listen to you all the time, brother. Great channel, man. Keep up the good work over there.
I
So,
appreciate that.
no problem, man. Question,
I'll pray for you.
been reading a lot of just interesting things with Saban, with these coaching candidates and everything. One of them that kind of popped out to me. Tell me how y'all feel about this one. Mike Norville has the least payout out of all the names I've seen so far. Instead, I think it was Lanning was over 10 million, something like that. Dad was like 7.5. And I'm trying to remember what.
Here, hold on, let me see here. Yes, the buyouts for the potential Alabama head coach candidates, according to Pete Thamel. Lanning's at 20 million. Kalen DeBoer is at 12. Sweeney's at 7.5. James Franklin is at 6. And then Mike Norvell's at 4.
Yeah. So, I mean, and honestly, and we know that Clemson doesn't use the transfer portal. So that right there.
Villain, if Mike Norvell left Florida State to go to Alabama, he would need like the entire Alabama State Police to protect his ass. I mean, there's been threats to the CFP and everything. He would be the biggest villain in the history of villains.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's interesting because I was just looking at it and I was saying, there's no way with Dabo just because of the transfer portal deal. We know Dabo doesn't use the transfer portal enough, and that's a big thing that Alabama has done. Times have changed. Saban changed with it. So right there, I think that kind of, puts a little notch on him from that. But I think at the same time, also, the flip side of it is how many of these kids are going to hit the transfer portal now from Bama that, since Saban's gone?
That's true too. But hey, you know what? If I were Mike Norvell and I was like, you know what? I would, if Alabama came calling, right? I would go to the press conference and I would say, look, I went 13-0 at your school, and I could not get an opportunity to play for a national title.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I had to go. I mean, that he could go with that.
That's his chance. Honestly, like you're saying, Rob, that's his chance to throw shade at the ACC.
He could make the argument, and there's people that have put numbers out there that I think Florida State would have lost to all 4 teams that were in the playoff. I think Georgia would have still beat them at full strength too.
Oh, yeah.
If everybody were there, it would have been a lot better game. But he could literally say, hey, I went 13-0 in a Power 5 conference and I didn't get a shot. I had to go somewhere else just for the good of my career. I can't wait 7 years to get out of a TV contract. And
That's true.
I would be pissed, but in overtime, it would probably work out for him.
I think it would. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to, the guy, he used the portal, built a team last year, basically a rental team, which that's where we are now, college football, build the players, stock them, unfortunately. But I mean, I think he would do well there, and it would honestly throw shade at the ACC like, hey, we can't get out of the buyout. Like you said, I went 13-0, I think that would be interesting. But honestly, another name that I kind of have a feeling on. What do y'all feel about Urban Meyer possibly? You think he has any chance?
God,
No, I don't.
You don't? Because we know how Urban is. It was Florida. It didn't go well there. Left with Ohio State, did well. I think maybe.
Well, you look. It's been 5 years. A lot's changed in 5. It's been 5 years since he's coached, right, Rob?
Yeah, but that, and he's got
College.
he's got the stain of what happened at Jacksonville too.
Yeah.
The guy was dry humping a woman in a damn restaurant. We got video of it. He literally was dry humping a woman like
12 hours after losing football games.
Badly. Yeah.
That's real. Come on, man. You can't. I know Alabama, they don't care if they could shake a crystal ball and it comes out. The hire's going to, he's going to do what he did at Florida and hire the thugs and everything else and come out there and win games, and they'll get away with it, and they'll shadow him and everything else, but I don't think they want that nonsense.
No, and I think he get in some trouble like kicking the kicker or something also in Jacksonville, if I remember correctly. So on top of that, dry humping the woman. But no, I just wanted to chime in, see what you guys thought about, as far as the Mike Norvell situation. I thought that was interesting when I read that. And again, I'm a big fan of both of y'all. Keep up the good work, fellas.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's Jackpot, I'm just going to keep bringing folks in if that's cool with you.
He spoke. We both snickered and said James Franklin. Look, is there a coach out there right now who has rested on the laurels of what he did at his previous job more than James Franklin at Penn State? That's all you hear about. What he did at Vanderbilt. He took Vanderbilt to 4 bowl games. Nobody's done that. He's underwhelmed. Been very underwhelming at Penn State. He's won 1 conference championship. And nobody gives a fuck that he can beat Indiana and Rutgers and Maryland. He can't beat any of the big 2. And I'll tell you something else. Ryan Day quickly turning into another James Franklin who just can't win the big one? Maybe 1 game better each year. But is there any truth?
Ryan Day's biggest win was when he put Clemson out of the playoffs. Other than that, he hasn't done shit.
He hasn't done anything. He has. He's run a clean program, I guess.
But he hasn't done what they expect him to do. They expect him to beat Michigan. They expect him not to get to the point where Michigan is ahead of them as far as program stature, which is what they are right now. They're the national champion, and you're on the sideline looking like a bitch.
Yeah.
It's the way that it is.
I think Penn State can do better than James Franklin. I'm sorry. I just think they can. He's cream of wheat. If we were in the grocery store and we were picking out what cereal, he's cream of wheat. And he's not even the cool kind with like cinnamon raisins or any of that stuff in it. He's the regular old red box cream of wheat.
Okay, then. Chris from Georgia, welcome into the program, sir.
Hey, it sounded like supposedly a plane from Tuscaloosa has went to Eugene. I don't know, man. Oregon outspends almost everyone in that conference, or what was that conference, and hasn't won it since Dan Lanning's been there. Everybody said, well, when Willie Taggart, when he gets him, he has that Southern talent at FSU, and he's got everything FSU's got to offer. He's going to win some games. Didn't do it. Mario Cristobal, bro, he's about to be in the hotbed of Miami talent. He's going to win some games. He's going to take over the ACC. Ain't seen it. Now, Dan Lanning's going to go from being one of the big spenders, one of the big dogs in a dying conference, to being at Alabama without Nick Saban. Now, there's a lot of kids that'll still sit there and say, well, Alabama has been Alabama, but I want to go play for Nick Saban. Now there's Kirby Smart to go play for. He's got a natty. Jim Harbaugh's got a natty. Dabo's got a natty. Why would I go play for Dan Lanning, who couldn't even beat Washington, who had, a sub 50% blue chip ratio? Like, this guy's going to have more competition than he's ever had.
I can tell you why. First of all, he's 37 years old, so he's young. Yeah, you can't sit here and put out this whole thing of he's going to be terrible because he was in Oregon and blah blah blah. He's 22-5 in his career. I mean, the guy's been really, really solid, and he comes from the Kirby Smart coaching tree, which basically makes him a son of the Saban coaching tree.
I mean, Mel Tucker had an 800 win percentage at one point, and look at him now.
Are you really putting Dan Lanning in the same conversation?
Didn't Mel Tucker win all his games in the COVID year?
He went like 9-1.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You're
but I'm just grabbing at straws.
No,
okay, tell me when.
It was the year after. It was the year after the COVID year.
When you could have 100 scholarship, you could have 100 scholarship players. That's why.
He had one good season, and then he started having phone sex with an HR therapist or whatever.
I mean, how many coaches have we seen do great at Oregon and then just fall flat on their face, though?
Well,
when you've got
Kelly was a good coach. He did well there.
And he left, and he fell flat on his face in the league, and then he almost got fired from UCLA this year.
Willie Taggart and Mario Cristobal's, neither one of those guys were there for more than like a season or two.
They were there for, I think both of them were there for 3 years, 2 years at least.
No, Willie Taggart wasn't there that long.
I mean, Lanning's only been there for 2 years, dude.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you want a young and upcoming coach, look, personally, for me, I hope it's Lane Kiffin, and I hope he continues to mop the floor with Tennessee just because I think that's funny.
Hey, me too, man. Lane Kiffin has taken over for 2 Hall of Fame coaches, and how did those schools were hobbled for a decade. So I'm up for Alabama hasn't tied back-to-back good coaches together ever. After Bear Bryant, they sucked for a decade and a half. After Gene Stallings, they sucked for a decade and a half. Like, they don't tie good coaches together. They don't. And then you've got Greg Byrne making the hire. Do you know who Greg Byrne's only hire is? Rich Rod. So they might actually hire Rich Rod.
I don't care. Exactly. My wife's even singing the song. I don't care. All of that doesn't matter. Alabama's got tons of money. They're going to get the coach that they want.
Then why are they fifth in the conference in spending? They could recruit because they had a Saban discount. They don't have a Saban discount anymore. Kids are going to sit there and say, I would rather go to Alabama and play for Saban for $100,000 instead of Clemson for $300,000.
So in your
They're not going to say that anymore.
Are you going to let me say something, or are you just going to yell over me, dude? I'm
Well,
trying
you're
to
acting like they're rich, dude. They're not rich.
They're an SEC school that cares about football. They're going to spend money. You don't think they're going to spend money at Alabama? Are you out of your mind?
Everybody's spending money in the SEC. They're fifth in the conference in recruiting spending. Fifth.
But they still get top 5 classes.
Because of Saban.
Exactly.
Is he going to be there next year? Is Saban going to be there next year? If I sat there and said, hey, man, you need to come here. I've got a 5-star chef cooking the food. And you said, okay, I'll come there. I'll spend a little bit more. But then all of a sudden my 5-star chef goes somewhere else or retires or doesn't want to do it anymore. Does that mean the restaurant's still going to be as good? Does that mean that people are still going to come there if I've got a Waffle House cook back in the back now? Like, let's be serious, dude. People went to Alabama for Saban, not because it was Alabama.
Sir, you're basically saying whoever they're hiring is going to be a Waffle House cook. They're going to get a good coach.
Oh, they're still in a coach that had outspent by $2 million, outspent the next school in their conference, and got whipped by their rival 3 times in 1 year. Whipped, not beat, whipped. And they're going to come here where Georgia spends more money than them, Tennessee spends more money than them, Auburn is spending more money than them, Texas A&M spends more money, Texas, and they're going to compete.
I don't see how you follow up the best coach in college football history with a dud.
They've done it 3 times. They've followed up
Yeah, I
national
don't.
winning coaches 3 times with duds.
Bear Bryant, for all he did, I mean, Nick Saban did more.
I get that. They replaced every single national championship winning coach with one that they fired 3 years later. They've not had a good coach take over for a good coach be taken over by
Yeah, but I mean, the
a good
body of
coach.
work you're looking at, though, sir, is like at least over 30 years ago.
Dude,
And
who?
Gene
We're
Stallings been
literally.
there since what?
You do not
94?
want to follow a legend. We are literally talking about how Ryan Day's a fucking dud because he went 35-5 in 3 years. And we're talking about how he's a fucking dud. What do you think they're gonna do if this dude don't match Nick Saban's shit?
First of all, no one said he was a dud. Second of all,
Oh my God! You just said he rested on his laurels. Said maybe James Franklin's the biggest laurel rester ever. Well, maybe Ron Day. That's exactly what you guys just said.
we said that he's had the program fallen behind Michigan, sir. Okay.
You don't think Dan Lanning, who's had his program fall behind USC and freaking Washington, you don't think he can make Alabama fall behind somebody else?
I
His
think that if
program
I'm
didn't
going to,
fall behind USC, he played for the conference championship. USC didn't.
USC's winning just as many games though.
USC
think if
only
I'm
won
going
7 games. I think he won 10.
I'd rather go. I tell you what, I'd rather go with Dan Lanning, who
Whoever they go with is gonna shit the bed. Nobody followed. Nobody was good when they followed John Woodard. Nobody's good when they followed Pat Summitt. Nobody was good when they followed Bear Bryant. Nobody was good when they followed Urban Meyer. Nobody's been good when they followed any legend.
I understand that these are the things you have to tell yourself at night because the coach that you're talking about was 17-1
So
against.
do you honestly think that when Dabo retires, the next coach will be just as good? You won't skip a beat?
No.
Then why do you think Alabama will?
I didn't say that they would, sir. I said they're going to get a good coach. They're not going to hire a fucking reject from UCF. They're not going to do that.
You don't think so? What if they won't hire? So coaches hire coaches from FAU, and they're not rejects. But coaches hire, coaches with 700 win records from UCF, and they're rejects. That's fucking wild.
What are you
you're over here meat glazing Lane Kiffin. They hired him from FAU.
Lane Kiffin's the coach at Ole Miss, you fool. Other coaches coached in other spots. He's been at a Power 5 school. He's the coach at
That's the thing. That's the thing with modern football fans is they forgot Alabama was a school that got turned down by a Big East coach before Nick Saban got there. Don't act like they can't get turned down, bro. Don't act like they can't go back to where they were.
Here's what I think, okay? I think Saban's been planning this for a year, and I think he's picked out the guy that he wants, and I think it's going to be someone that's going to stomp a lot of people. There you go. I think that's what's
that always happen. That always works out well. Is the guy before them picking the replacement?
Saban's leaving and going into retirement as a championship coach.
Pat Summitt picked Holly Warlick. Ryan Day got picked by Urban Meyer.
Sure, and you just
OU had lost their coach because their head coach picked the next guy, and they picked a guy that had no allegiance to OU, and he left on the first thing smoking.
Awesome.
Letting the previous coach pick the new coach is not the best avenue of approach. It does not work out well.
Cool. Anything else you want to put out there? I mean, I know that you're happier than a pig in slop right now because Saban's gone, but anything else you got?
I mean, Tennessee's about to get the number 2 quarterback in the next class, and y'all will say it's because Saban's gone. But you sit there and say that the next guy is just going to recruit just as good as Saban, and they're going to go there just because it's Alabama.
The next quarterback, you're pick up the number 2 quarterback in the next class. No, it's all because of Nico. He wants to follow in his shoes.
I mean, I don't know what your issue with Nico is. You didn't act like this when everybody hyped up, Cade to be the next guy. Nobody was like this when people were hyping up Bryce Young to be the next guy.
Nobody hyped up Cade to be like Nico.
Oh my God, dude.
This is super. No, they didn't, sir.
Yes, they did.
There's a love affair with this Nico quarterback. He may be the greatest quarterback ever. I don't know.
He may be a combo Warren Moon and Tom Brady.
People talk
He
about Nico
also
the exact same way people talk about Bryce Young, the exact same way people talked about Trevor Lawrence. And this isn't just
Magic
Tennessee
Man.
fans. These are freaking national media guys that talk about Nico like this. You act like it's just Tennessee fans.
Do you think that that Josh Heupel's the quarterback whisperer, that he can develop quarterbacks, etc.?
I mean, I think he's pretty good at developing quarterbacks, yeah.
Okay, then why did he have him sitting on the
happened to Joe
bench
Milton?
letting Milton play?
Because he needed to put on weight.
Or A,
Why did Kelly Bryant start over Trevor Lawrence at the beginning of the season?
No. Hold on a second.
Joe
I'm gonna
Milton's a
make sure that
bridge
I get my point
quarterback.
out
He's
here.
He's a
Here's
bridge
the
guy.
thing. I'm gonna let you talk in just a second. Just calm down, take a breath. Either A, Heupel is the quarterback whisperer that didn't really check out with Milton, or something's amok and Nico's the greatest thing ever and Heupel didn't see it. So which one is it? Go.
Why didn't kids can redshirt? Bryce Young redshirted. He's the best quarterback Alabama ever fucking had.
We're not talking about Bryce Young, sir. I asked.
But you're sitting here saying, why did he redshirt? Why didn't he start it? Because he wanted him to redshirt and put weight on.
Shirting, Jesus.
I'm telling you. And you don't want to listen to it. You want me to say, oh, he sucks. But that's not the thing. He wanted Nico to redshirt. Nico's parents wanted him to redshirt. They wanted him to put weight on.
Either A.
Who gives a shit what his parents want?
Because we're not trying to be the school that loses their fucking entire team every fucking year like South Carolina because our coach lied to their parents.
South Carolina lost a bunch of bench warmers and juice wells.
Your coach literally brought a kid. He coached at Oklahoma, and he was there for a year and said, fuck this, I am out, dude. This place is a shithole. And went back to Oklahoma. That's the type of shit South Carolina's coaching staff does. My coach ain't going to do that. If the parents want something, he's going to give it. That's how you fucking keep kids from running to the portal, and you ain't got 27 players in the portal.
He left South Carolina because he was scared of competition. He didn't want to compete with
Oh,
Trey
yeah,
Knox
because he
didn't want to compete with Trey Knox for that start.
That's why he had a better year than Trey Knox, dude. Did Trey Knox even record stats? I don't even remember him.
Yeah, he recorded stats in every game, touchdowns too.
Is there anything else that you want to go with, sir? Are you?
I just think it's ridiculous. Y'all's little fucking hard on you got for Josh Heupel.
I don't have a hard on for anybody.
Yeah, you do. Man. It's blatantly obvious. You get talked about. People talk about you in spaces that you're like. People are like, bro, what is Rob's issue with Tennessee? Why is he like that? I said, I don't know. I think Heupel like touched him when he was a kid or something. I don't know. It's so weird, dude. It's so weird.
I mean, you're a middle of the pack SEC team. That's all there is to it. With an over the top fan base that has that loves to come on our show, and I love to poke fun at you. You're irrelevant as fuck to me. I'm much more worried about Syracuse football than fucking Tennessee.
Yeah, I would be too. You lose to both teams. I don't know why you're worried about one more than the other. They both beat your ass.
Once again, bowl games don't matter. I said this a season ago.
Bro, play us in the regular season. I don't care. Come to a big stadium. Don't nobody want to go to that little 60,000 seat ass bitch stadium you guys got, calling it the fake Death Valley.
Sir,
off by about 20,000 seats.
By about 25,000.
Bro, I don't fuck with 5-digit stadiums, dude. Those are little tiny baby stadiums.
Well, that's good because you have 105,000 people in your stadium, and you all share about 12 fucking teeth.
People from Anderson, South Carolina, calling people from fucking East Tennessee rednecks is rich, dude. That's like O.J. Simpson giving Ray Rice fucking marriage advice. Calm down, dude. Y'all are fucking redneck, druggies all over.
Well, you think we're all redneck druggies in South Carolina? Okay, sir. Okay. Look, have a wonderful evening, and I know you guys are having the big party with Saban leaving. Try not to burn the trailer park down. Let's bring in Tom. Tom, what's up, buddy?
Man, that was hilarious the way you handled that damn Tennessee fan. I mean, try not to.
Tom, slow down for just a second. I got something that I have to share. Is that okay with you?
Go ahead.
Here, if you don't mind. Someone sent me this. I wanted to show it to folks here. I mean, do you have issues?
Is it a diagram of the 60,000 seat Clemson Stadium?
I don't know, but apparently, I mean, I know Alabama folks are really good at fishing, but this guy sucks. Look at this nonsense, Jackpot.
That's right now. Wondering. Look at this. I don't think you can take. Yeah, I don't know. Is it right?
doing here?
Man,
What are
that's
we
my
watching?
dad.
Why not
That's
wait?
my fucking younger brother trying to do a
Oh,
damn fishing video shit. Yeah, down in Florida. Yeah, that's my
what?
younger brother.
What the hell are you?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
my younger brother.
so that's not you. That's your younger brother throwing a
Yeah, yeah,
rod
yeah.
into.
He was cutting up and begging Megan, pegging Megan, and some of the other guys' video. Made a little comedy sketch out of it. That's parody video. You know, one of the little parody videos.
Your brother looks just like you, though. I mean, you sure that's not you?
No, that's my brother. You know, I'm a little bit more heavier than that guy. If you look at me, I'm a little bit more stout than he is. You know.
Sure. All right. What do
So,
you
but
have for program this evening, sir?
yeah, let's digress and move on. I don't know. You know, Nick Saban announced his retirement today, and I felt like, the timing was right for him to go ahead and step away. I mean, 72 years old, he's a multimillionaire, and I mean, the game is changing a lot. You know, with the transfer portal, NIL, and just felt like it's good timing. And I'm kind of optimistic and kind of excited about the future of Alabama football.
By the way, shout out to Yerder with the comment of the night because my wife will appreciate it. Can I pet that dog? Very good, sir.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what that damn Tennessee fan was. What was y'all all that damn fussing about?
I don't know what the hell his problem was. All I
I
said
don't
was
know.
that,
Rob has a SEC bias. Says I'd hate to be Chris's kid.
oh
Yeah.
God, we don't need to get into
Yeah,
that.
he's the male version of Penny's mama from Good Times.
I mean, Lord have mercy. I mean, it's the off season. Just,
But
I
look,
mean,
he's upset because today is a day of happiness for him because Nick Saban was 17-1 against Tennessee,
yeah, yeah.
and that he thinks that nightmare is gone, and now he's thinking that Alabama's going to go back to sucking, and I don't think Alabama's going to go back to sucking that
No,
bad.
sir.
They're not going to
No,
be
no, sir.
what they were.
Well, listen. Alabama, before Saban got there, Alabama won 12 national titles. We
Yeah,
won the.
they were the shits, though. I mean, let's just be honest. He won more games in his 17 seasons than they won in the 25 seasons before from Bear Bryant to him. So they were the shits for a long time. And of those 12 national titles that you're talking about, one from the Dixie Standard doesn't really count. The one where you had
Here we go.
doesn't
Here
count.
we go. Here we go. Here we go with that. I know you was gonna bring that up, but anyhow, well, no, I think Alabama will be fine. I mean, down the stretch, I think we'll have. I think they're talking about Danny Lannon from Oregon, the lead candidate for the job. I mean, but I think Alabama will be fine. I mean, it's like I said, I mean, it's not the end of the world. The sun's still gonna come up. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just football's just a game, and I mean, there's a lot of other people going through, like the people. I mean, first of all, let me say this: pray for the folks of Perry, Iowa. I mean, that was tragedy what they went through, and we need to keep them people in our thoughts and prayers. So at the end of the day, football's just a game. I mean, when stuff like that happens, it really makes you take a step back and put things in perspective to what life really is. I mean, because at the end of the day, your team may win or lose, but at the end of the day, you still live to fight another day. And
What happened at Iowa?
Perry, they had a school shooting in Perry, Iowa last
Today?
week. No, it was last week.
Oh well. Oh yeah. I heard about that. Oh, God.
Yeah. So I mean, we just got to, this is, football's entertainment, and sometimes people let their emotions run wild. But I mean, like I said, I respect Clemson and South Carolina. I mean, like I said, Andrew Zile, he's on the staff there, and C.J. Spiller, two men I respect the most. I respect them a lot. But so yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think Alabama will be fine going down the stretch.
Yeah, well, they're going to get a decent.
Katusa 93 says, "I remember the lean years at Bama. I remember the lean years at South Carolina."
I do. I mean, yeah, we had some lean years at Bama. I mean, I think, we lost to South 2000. What? I can't see the comments.
I'm just Jackpot's he said that and didn't even break a smile out. Holy
Uh,
shit!
I remember the lean years at South Carolina didn't even. I think. I mean, like I said, Jackpot, hang in there. I think South Carolina will get there one day eventually. I mean,
Oh, hang from something.
and no, it's been it's been as Rattler out of years of eligibility at South Carolina.
He's done. He's he'll be drafted this spring
Right.
somewhere.
Who's going to be y'all's quarterback next year? You think
Lenore Sellers.
Lenore Sellers? Have y'all made any staff changes?
Yeah, they fired the running back coach, which was overdue, and then they hired what's his name, Rob Coley.
Yeah, Coley. Yeah,
James Coley used to be offensive coordinator at Georgia. He'll coach the tight ends. Our tight ends coach got a promotion, got a head coaching job. See, we're developing head coaches down
Where
there.
do you
He
get
took
it?
the head
Where do you get
coaching
it?
job at Murray State. You know, Frank Beamer was at one point the head coach at Murray State.
yeah. So
So
was
really,
Houston Nutt.
Rob, could you call someone that Shane Beamer has brought along and kind of, I guess, molded a little bit? Could you call that like a legacy hire by proxy? I guess.
I think he knows that Shane Beamer doesn't get his shit together. He's not going to have a job in 18 months. So he's like, "Fuck it, I can go to Murray, Kentucky." I think that's what happened.
So y'all think you think this is the last year for Beamer in South Carolina? What you saying, Rob?
I think that this is he may not get the can after this year, but if he doesn't get his shit together, at least get them to a bowl game next year, there's going to be some really pissed off people.
Here's the
Because
thing: he's got a really tough SEC slate this year, and if he had made it to a bowl game this past season, if he'd have went 7-5 like he ought to, if he'd have beat down North Carolina like he should have, if he'd have beat down Florida like he should have, there's two wins right there that I could easily flip flop. That'd be 7-5, and then you wouldn't be having this conversation about is he going to get fired. He'd probably be given a mulligan to have a shitty 2024 with this tough ass schedule. But now you don't get no mulligan because you done had a losing season. And guess what? Injuries that just stacked up like cordwood. Damn, fucking strength and conditioning coach whose contract expired on December 31st have heard nothing about replacing him. Nothing.
well, what about the Coolers jackpot that he's kicking? We're not talking about that either.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about, I mean, this guy, I mean, you had multiple injuries, soft tissue injuries. It didn't happen on every other damn team in the country. It was somebody has to be held accountable for that.
Right.
I mean, you're bound to, what is it? You say, history's bound to damn repeat itself. I mean,
And
yeah. Well,
I think
doesn't go through without some injuries, but the soft tissue injuries are like the way that apparently the stuff happened with Wells' foot, from what we were told, that they had like an intern doing this kid's foot or something. What in the hell is that? I mean, this guy's an all SEC receiver, and we can't get someone that's paid on the staff to take care of his foot. What the hell's going on here?
right.
Weird. On the surface, it looks weird, and we don't know everything behind that. We only have one side of the story, but what Jackpot's saying makes a lot of sense. There's too many of the soft tissue injuries that you could theoretically avoid to an extent.
I mean, how many of them? I mean, they had. I know we lost a lineman.
I got a question for Rob in a minute.
Kaba. We lost Nick Eamon-Worry. We lost Juice Wells for at least another game in the UNC game, the very first game of the season, the hottest game of the season. That to me says bad conditioning.
Rob,
conditioning. That's after the game of pride, so there's that too.
That's what happened with Florida State this year and Clemson. Do you think Clemson and Florida State stays in the ACC, or what do you think it takes to fix the ACC's problem with the TV revenue?
Well, I mean, there's there's so much talk about, when some people are talking about, well, the contract ends in 2027. I don't know. I think that when it comes back down to the end of it, what's going to happen is next year there's going to be the 12-team playoff, and apparently the format is that the Power 5 conferences, all their champion all gets in.
Right.
And I think that they'll probably do that for a year or two, and then they're going to realize, why in the fuck are we putting, this relic of a conference, what the Pac-12 is going to be? Why are we acknowledging them? And then they're going to redo all of that. I think the ACC's kind of got a Band-Aid until then, but I still think that Clemson and Florida State, they're going to jump ship. I think the North Carolina faithful want to do it too, but they like the idea of the basketball school because everything is
Right.
about that Carolina Duke matchup.
Oh yeah, up there. But yeah, like I told somebody, college football needs us kind of like the NFL with division stuff. Set up a way where you qualify for the playoffs without a committee making a decision, because every sport in college athletics, the postseason tournament's picked by a committee, whether it's baseball, basketball, softball, it's all picked by committees.
I like the idea of the idea of you compete at a certain level, and it's sort of like soccer over in Europe or whatever. You can be like level A, B, or C, and if you're in level A and you suck ass for 2 years, then you get relegated down to level B, and then so on and so forth. I think that would be good, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean it would, but then you got traditional rivalries, and I mean one of the things.
Rivalries. There's some of the rivalries that we had that were big at one point, like LSU used to play Tulane, and I had a friend that's an LSU fan that said that rivalry was such a big deal to them. Now they don't play anymore, but people don't talk about it. So
no, yeah, Pitt, Penn State was one. Pitt, West Virginia, Pitt was one. Clemson, Georgia would be a good rivalry. They're so close to each other geographically. That would be a good rivalry to play.
Yeah, they should really play every year and take South Carolina off the schedule because it does nothing for Clemson's schedule.
But no, you talking about take Clemson take South Carolina off their schedule?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because it does nothing.
Doesn't do anything for us. We give South Carolina Super Bowl every year. That's what we do.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think, like I said, South Carolina, like I said, they're traditionally one of them teams that if you don't play your best game, they can upset somebody they have no business beating. South Carolina every year does that. They always find a way to beat somebody they have no business beating.
That's true. Hey, man, I got to move on, Tom. But
last year.
Well, you can make an argument for maybe Kentucky.
Shit. I think we were favored over them.
Goodbye. All right, let's bring in Justin, then we'll go to Rob as an SEC bias. Justin, welcome to the show, buddy.
How you doing, guys?
What's up,
hey, man? How are you?
Doing good. Well, this is retiring. They're gonna get a good coach. And I got two candidates who you can look at. You got what about Dan Lane? You got Eli Drakowitz.
Oh man, nobody's talked about the drink, but hey,
I don't think he's got a big enough body of work.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea at all. I mean, I think it's going to come down. I like Lanning and I like Kiffin first. Kiffin, then Lanning.
Yeah, I like Danny too, guys. And I think his thing about Daly.
Rob's got his lips smooched all up to Lane Kiffin's butt cheeks.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, but his thing about Dan Lane, I think he's a good fit because you think about this, he got the ties in the SEC, and that's not easy to cause, but he can do it.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, Justin, I seen you were at the Gamecocks game the other day with your mom, man. I hope they get their shit together for you.
Yeah, I hope so too, man, because
hopefully we don't drop 3 in a row.
Ugly. Yeah.
They went down to Alabama and they got humbled, but
hopefully don't drop 3 conference games in a row like Clemson does.
I know. Yeah. Well, guys, guys, take care, man.
Bye, Justin. Have a good night, man. All right. Rob has an SEC bias is here. Hello. Where's the quarter zip? What's going on?
Hey man.
I might as well take that.
I got that
quarter zip up. We had to put it in the washing machine.
Yeah, well, that and I could afford the power bell this week, so I got some heat going. I don't got to rock the jacket tonight.
You play a weekly power bill? I need to get hooked up
yeah,
with
out in the middle of
his power bill's
Meth
from Rent a Center.
Pickens
He goes and
County.
rents it by a week.
The
There's a Rent a
stench of
Center and pays
Clemson
like
in the air still.
His,
But how are
his
you gentlemen
power
doing
bill's
tonight?
like one of those flip
I am
phones. He just goes.
fantastic.
That's funny.
How about yourself, Rob?
I'm fine, man. Other than Clemson's basketball team looks like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Who'd
Well,
y'all play?
look, I mean, it's not a bad loss, Rob. It's not, you don't just stroll into Castle Coliseum on the campus of Virginia Polytechnic
Brother,
University
I don't want to
and
hear
win.
that shit.
That place has been there. The Gamecocks used to play them there in the old Metro Conference, and damn, the place doesn't look like it's changed at all, other than I guess the court. They got a new court down. I went in Castle. It was 1986. The first time I ever went to Virginia Tech when the Gamecocks played a football game up there, and we tailgated in the parking lot there. And I actually walked into because the doors were open. I walked into Castle and I peed in there. Of course, in the bathroom. I didn't pee in the sink. Okay, so get your minds out of the gutter. But yeah, it's a pretty cool place, and they still play there. So
yeah,
well, I was I haven't heard this name thrown around as much, but I get the Dan Lanning one, but he's got like a $20 million buyout. I kind of I wouldn't mind Kalen DeBoer, man. Bringing him into Alabama.
Game, and he was one of the ones that was mentioned by Tamil and a couple of other guys too. I mean, that would make kind of make sense.
I like going young, man. Dan, how old is Dan Lanning now?
37.
Oh, he's way younger than I thought.
Yeah, he's 37.
Okay, well then that changes things. Yeah, well then at that point, I kind of feel like it's a toss-up. I mean, DeBoer can build a program.
Yeah, Washington was a shithole in 2021.
Yeah, they were awful, and he's been there 2 years, I think. Already gotten to a national. He's only won lost 2 games in 2 years, I believe, right? Something absurd like that.
Yeah.
He's
that
22
coach they
and
had
5.
up there, that Jimmy Lake guy, he was like real weird. He was like real hateful to the players and stuff. He's doing
I mean, I just don't think he's getting enough respect when it comes to that. I get
like Chris from Georgia.
I get Kiffin, but if Kiffin was the answer, he would have. He hasn't won the West at all. He's been at Ole Miss for like 4 years.
That's because Nick Saban was coaching in the West.
Well, LSU freaking Kelly did it his first year coming in.
That's cool. I mean, you're asking me who I think would be good. I think
Orgeron could do it.
No, I mean, I think he wants the job, and I think he understands what he's getting into there.
So I just don't know if that's the best fit for. Yeah, I'm saying Orgeron won the West. No, not Orgeron for the hire.
I thought. Oh God, no.
No, I think Alabama could do better than Kiffin. I don't think you just go for the guy who wants the job, the most. I think you go for the best fit. I think that's somebody that you got to pay a little more for.
Clemson losing basketball games in January. Rob is surprised. That is the way it's always been. You're absolutely right. Being a Clemson basketball fan is like being a South Carolina football fan. You have a moment or two where you look decent, and then you end up being a plastic bag with a hole in it, and you lose your snack on the way to school. It's terrible. Every single year. It's horrible. It's the shits. It's bad. I mean, I go to school thinking I got me or I'm going to, hopefully my wife packs me a nice sandwich in a bag because my wife makes great sandwiches. I get there. There's no sandwich in the bag. It's just like a little bit of mustard and mayonnaise over there. There's no bologna. There's no bread. It's just a hole, and there's nothing there. It's terrible. It's just shitty.
Bro,
damn right.
You can do better than bologna, Rob.
What, you don't like bologna, sir?
Oh,
I will not sit here and have you knock bologna on this program, sir.
Man. Do you get like a big ass fucking log of that shit?
Bill Cosby came and stole his pudding pop back.
Damn right. I like
bologna. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
And you're talking to me about fucking bologna? Come on, man.
What'd you say?
You bitch about your power bill, and you're saying that you're too good for bologna?
Hey, I'm good now, man. The heat's flowing. I'm chilling. I got the short sleeves on, my friend. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Saban retirement. I think I think we're approaching a time in college football where we're about to see a lot more parity. I think you're going to see a lot more littler teams rising up that wouldn't necessarily rise up like in the early mid 2000s. And honestly, I'm not sure if Saban can compete with that. So I think he got out at an excellent time.
It'd be funny when these teams that think that they're just these national powers, and and we can even put Clemson in the mix. All Clemson fans have been putting out this, it's the 5-year anniversary of when Clemson won their last national title, and they hadn't really done shit since then. Let's just be honest.
And just adding more teams to the playoffs.
That they think they're just going to roll in and they're going to go right into this 12-team playoff. Yeah, they're not going to be there. They're going to be going to the Bowl or some shit. That's the way it's going to be.
There's not I refuse to believe that doesn't play into why Saban's retiring. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's going out on top right now, if you think about it. Even though they didn't win a natty, he's still going out on top. Imagine he stays at Alabama two more years, goes 8-7, 7-6.
But there was a
let's flip up the talk here for a minute. Let's say Dabo does go home. Let's say they hired Dabo down to Alabama. Who replaces him at Clemson?
Ooh.
I think
Rob,
they go.
I'll let you go first.
I think they go with Lincoln Riley right off the rip.
Lincoln Riley?
Yeah.
You don't think they just promote Garrett?
Yeah, how am I saying Lincoln? Garrett Riley. Then they go Garrett Riley. They just promote him, and then they got to figure out who the offensive coordinator is going to be. But
you don't think Tony Elliott comes home?
Fuck no! Are you out of your mind?
No.
What do we need, another analyst? What the hell are you talking about? As the offensive coordinator? Sure, I mean, not as the head coach.
I don't think Clemson would go out and pay a big buyout for a coach, to be quite honest. They're not really known for big
no,
spending.
but I think that they would they're paying Sweeney $9.5 million.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they went out in a coaching search, should he leave? I don't think they'd be willing to pay like a $20 million buyout for Lanning per se.
Papa B says Lane Kiffin. Yeah, Rob wants Kiffin. Yep. If Kiffin wanted to come to Clemson, that would be the greatest thing ever. I mean, he would. Oh, I love Lane Kiffin. I think he's great. But I think they would promote Garrett Riley. That's who I think they would promote.
I haven't been impressed with Garrett Riley, to be honest. He kind of had a dud this year, in my opinion.
That had to be the biggest waste of money spent last year.
Yeah, I mean, he was so hyped up too, man. And that offense was just the same fucking wet fart.
Well, that's because I think Dabo kept pouring his special sauce into the broth.
That very well could be the case too.
I mean, he looked like every time I watched a Clemson game, you saw Garrett Riley over there with his guys. You always seen Dabo. He's the head coach, so I mean he's got to be involved in stuff. But who the hell knows what he was doing?
Look, I think that giving Riley a chance after Sweeney leaves, if Sweeney decides to leave, it would make the most sense. Because in my mind, it's almost like a sacrificial lamb type thing, and it's probably the same way with Alabama too. But BBD, no, I think Kiffin would be great at Clemson.
I'll tell you that the culture would be completely different at Clemson with Kiffin coming in, man. It'd be like a completely different program, I think.
Oh man, the big Bible donors up there, they're all praying it with Dabo and all that.
New Spring wouldn't have anything. I mean, y'all would lose all that money, man.
Enough with the New Spring nonsense.
I'll leave y'all with this. It's always great to be a Gamecock, of course, but I'm excited for the year.
Well, there's no buts after that.
Well, no, there's no buts. I'm saying I'm excited for the year. I think Lenore Sellers is going to be excellent.
Yeah, but they've got to land another quarterback to back him up.
They got one.
They just got one today.
They got one today. The kid from Oklahoma. Yeah, I got a kid from Oklahoma.
From Greenville.
Yeah, hold on.
I got his name right here.
Who is this?
Let me pull it up.
I'm pulling it up right now, but
it's Davis Bevell.
Yeah, so he played. Yeah, they got him like right before we came on the air. I read it.
He's a 3-star from Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville High. Davis Bevel
He looks decent,
Yeah.
man. Looks decent. MVP
He
at the Shrine
graduated
Bowl.
the same year my son did.
So
he's
we've got
37 of
some depth.
62, 339 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks.
And you
Number
can
one,
always
number
throw Doty back there, man, if you really need to.
So he was backing up Kenny Pickett.
Was he? So he went to he was at Pittsburgh, then Oklahoma, and now South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And then,
like I said, I'm not mad at that. We needed some extra bodies, but I don't think we need another one. Doty can always fill in. I'm not worried anymore about our quarterback room. I think Lenore Sellers is the guy though. Hopefully we can get some more skill position. Maybe 1 or 2 more transfers. I'd like to see another tight end come in. Maybe that new tight end coach can bring somebody with him.
Robbie Ashford was still supposed to be coming in for a visit.
Was he? I didn't see that.
I think
Saturday this weekend. It'd be good to try to get him too.
Well, I'll tell you, maybe we got a chance at somebody like Daniel Hill or somebody like that. Now that Saban's gone, that's what I was thinking.
I think Jackpot could hit more receivers than Ashford could. I think Ashford's just a guy that's going to run around a lot. Just the way I see it.
He's not real good throwing the ball, but
no.
Be good leadership.
Yeah. All right. Hey man, I got to get this last one in here.
Y'all take care. Go Gamecocks.
Go Gamecocks.
All right. Shout out to my buddy Jonathan Reynolds, who's normally trying to save people and bring them to the Lord. He says it's insane to rely on an unproven Frosh with that schedule. Very good. This gentleman's name is The End of an Era. I'm assuming he's an Alabama fan.
No, I'm actually a Georgia fan. I'm just saying it's the end of the Saban era, the end of the 4-team playoff.
Yeah.
And I'm also hearing rumors Kirby Smart might be interviewing for an NFL job with the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm not buying all that. Why would he want to go to the Falcons? I mean, there are other jobs that are out there that could be better. I mean, Bill Belichick is going to go away from New England. I think that I think that the Patriots are a better job than the Falcons. I mean, holy shit with all that. The Seahawks are a better job than the Falcons. The only job that's worse that's open right now is the Panthers.
Bill Belichick made the Patriots, and Tom Brady made the Patriots a good job. Is it a good job now?
I think Brady is what made the Patriots.
Job. Oh God, the Panthers are terrible.
I think Brady's behind a lot of New England's success.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, I mean, at what point? They went to what, like one Super Bowl without him?
No, they didn't even go to a Super Bowl once he left.
Once he left, they were down.
They went to like the '85 Super Bowl when they played the Bears.
Oh yeah,
did they
before
go to any other Super Bowls without Brady?
I don't think so. I can look it up.
Did Drew Bledsoe? Did he go to one? I don't know.
No, I mean, after Brady, they drafted, I think, like Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Vanilla ice cream. He's a slightly better version of Jake Fromm.
Yeah, so they went in '86. They went in '97.
I forgot about that.
Then they went 2002, 4, 5, 8, 12. Those are all Brady.
Those are all Tom Brady.
Yeah. From 2001, I believe, on was the Brady era.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But
I remember that one when they played the Panthers. I fell asleep late in the second quarter, and I missed the Janet Jackson boob slippage at the halftime show.
The little wardrobe mishap.
Yeah.
Jack, I woke up. There were titties on the Super Bowl, and I missed it. Damn it!
Yeah, damn it.
Boobies.
Jesus.
But so who do y'all think would take the Bama job right now? I wouldn't sleep on Lane Kiffin sliding into that job.
I think he wants it, but we'll see.
I mean, he's done it before. He left Tennessee in the middle of the night, went to Southern Cal without even a goodbye. So I mean,
I think that the
What
thing
about
is that
what about Steve Sarkisian?
yeah, that I've heard that name too, but you know,
He was the OC there.
I don't think he would leave Texas though.
I think those Alabama fans would drive him back to drinking.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm being real here. The guy's had his
as a
issues
Georgia
with
fan,
being
I've
drunk
dealt
at
with my
Southern
fair share.
California, Texas, but I think the Alabama fans might push him to drinking. Seriously.
Yeah. Who else? I've heard the Oregon Dan Lanning. I've heard his name. I've heard Glenn Schumann.
Who?
I've heard
Who the fuck is
a
that?
couple. The DC for Georgia.
No, the DC for Georgia's I thought was Muschamp, right?
No,
Him
it's a
and
co.
Schumann are co.
Oh, okay.
DCs.
Well, I don't think that. I mean, Schumann with that. I don't know. I've never. I mean, okay.
No.
So yeah, everybody's talking about like Schumann, and I remember making a joke to an Alabama fan. I'm like, now that Kevin Steele's retired, oh well, y'all can go after Glenn Schumann, and everybody's like, why would we want Glenn Schumann?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? He's put up like top 5 defenses every year he's been at Georgia. Which I mean, that's aided through Kirby Smart, but still.
What about Sam Pittman?
Why would they go after Sam Pittman?
Well, I mean, all he needs is some good players. I mean, he hasn't really had a lot of good clay to make sculptures with at Arkansas.
What about Shane Beamer? He just needs some good players too. They can go to Alabama.
Yeah,
Why
there
not?
you go.
What about Eli Drinkwitz?
I mean,
the Dork might be getting a promotion.
I like him better than Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. Personally, I think he's a better choice than Lane Kiffin.
I think so. I don't know. No, I like Kiffin better than
I think that there with Kiffin was just too much drama and ha. I mean, look
at Hugh Freeze with Auburn.
Yeah,
that
guy. And then before Hugh Freeze, it was Brian Harsin with his mistress.
What a good show.
Allegedly.
Oh yeah, allegedly. I mean, we don't know if that actually happened or not, but I mean, there's a lot of drama I think going on with college football. I don't think it's just limited to just one person.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate you checking in, man. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna get home.
Be safe, man.
See y'all.
Have a good night now.
All right, Jackpot. We've had a good show, man. Do you want to pick the playoff games before we get out of here?
Sure.
All right, here we go. These are the NFL playoff games this weekend.
Who's Saturday and who's Sunday?
That's why I'm pulling it up right now. So
Carolina Cha-Ching Pot had a pretty good night with the bets on the Natty game. Took the under and took Michigan to cover.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't watch enough NFL football, but when I bet it, I seem to do pretty well.
Yeah,
Weird.
that's all right. So first game on Saturday is Browns and Texans. The Browns are going on the road and they're giving up 2.5 in Houston.
I take the Texans.
I think that Joe Flacco money is going to wear out there. See, I'm going to probably take the Texans too. And then the Dolphins are playing the Chiefs on the road. The Chiefs are a 4.5 point favorite at home. I think that the Chiefs cover.
I do too. I think the Dolphins fell apart down the stretch. Their problem is they can't beat any good teams.
Yeah. Steelers versus Bills. That's the Sunday matchup at 1:00. The Bills are a 10-point favorite at home. I'm going to take the Steelers to cover and the Bills to win.
Yeah, I think it's hard to beat anybody by 10 plus in the playoffs.
Packers and Cowboys at 4:30. Packers are a 7.5 point dog on the road. I am the Packers representative on this show, and fuck Dallas forever and all of their fans. give me the Packers to win outright.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I'm going to take the Cowboys to cover and win.
Rams and Lions that night. The Lions are a 3-point favorite at home. Lions are playing pretty good football.
Yeah, it's out of nowhere. The Jets, imagine what they could have done if they had their quarterback this year. Yeah, take Detroit.
You got Detroit. I got the Lions too. And then Monday night, Eagles and Bucks. Eagles going on the road. They're a 3-point favorite. I watched
They're having a Monday night playoff game.
Yes, sir. Monday night playoff. Yeah,
that's new, isn't it?
No, I think they did it last year, but it's like the second year they're doing it. But Eagles and Bucks. Eagles are giving up 3. I watched Tampa Bay, and their offense is just the shit.
Baker Mayfield was injured.
Yeah, he's like 5'5", and he can't throw the ball. So I'm going to take the Eagles because they have the tall.
Yeah, I think so. Probably put one in with the tush push.
Yeah, so there you go.
Can this be the last year that's called that, and we hear about the tush push?
They call it they call it the brotherly shove. That's what they call it. That's what they call it with the Eagles up there. It's the brotherly shove, and I'm like, oh God, it's fucking terrible.
BVD says, who won the Callaway's challenge? Was this not announced? Rob?
I won the bowl challenge, and then Bubba Ray won the regular season challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny because I went 29-12 in the challenge. I missed the Clemson game.
There was no cheating there, though.
No, of course not. What are you talking about?
Cheat.
Absolutely not.
I figured someone would say you did.
Nobody cheats on anything. Not with that. We love those contests so much. That's why we do them every year, and it's all above board. So, all right. Well, there you go. There's our picks for the games. Jackpot will be back at it on Sunday night. And
Sunday, not a fun day.
Yeah, we'll chat with you guys later on. Have a good night.
See y'all later. Thank you.